Okay, folks, this should be interesting. It is I, of course, in case you forgot, it is I, Sean Jazz Stevens, of course, on alongside of the other half.
You don't need to introduce me. Everybody knows who I am. I'm the lovable co-host.
Chef Awesome, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
So this match was actually a brainchild of my son, who thought, I want to see Randy Savage in there. So since it's Halloween and all in October, I figured it's probably the only time of the month or currently of the year that it's acceptable for people who are no longer part of the living world to cross over. Supposedly October is the time when the dead can roam, so here we are.
You know, you ever heard of the Day of the Dead? It's like a Spanish kind of holiday.
Well, there's no one knows more about death than Robert Englund himself,
Yep.
the king of nightmares himself, leader of the Horror Connection, going up against one of the leaders of the Locker Room, and arguably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Yeah. I mean, I never watched any of his matches live myself, but I've heard a lot about him, and he seems like one of the greats.
He was. Savage was an individual who was known for actually a lot of wrestling modern would be, Robert Englund going to get a toy, and that's not good news for Randy Savage.
Well, I mean, Randy has dealt with his fair bit of
toys
himself,
general.
yeah.
But
you know, that match against Steamboat, I think he took, what was it, a ring bell to the throat?
Correct, and multiple other things. But then again, Randy Savage was known for being one of the pioneers in modern day wrestling where the wrestlers would actually pre-plan their matches before going to the ring. And Randy Savage was one of the early people to really implicate, where prior to that, to Randy Savage doing that, a lot of guys would call the matches in the ring like you would. And so that way there you would have a more fluid match, and that way they wouldn't really get lost.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Savage was a very particular individual who wanted the greatest match ever. And him and Steamboat knew if they wanted the greatest match ever, they would have to be very particular. Especially, oh my goodness. Robert Englund with a nightmare out of nowhere on Randy Savage.
A dream catcher, if you say.
Yeah, this is the first time Robert Englund and Randy Savage have ever had at it.
1, 2, 3.
Also the first singles match Freddie's had in a while, and that's going to be another point for us, I guess.
Yep, and we're up, what is it, 4-1?
4-1, yeah. So far only JBL has been able to tarnish our record.
Don't worry, JBL will be taken care of in a bit.
I'm sure he will. You know, it's Robert Englund of all people. You don't want to see him with a weapon of any kind in his hand. I guess that would have been...
I mean, his hand is a weapon itself.
Indeed.
So...
a lot of that pre-planning couldn't come out of helping anywhere else, considering his nightmare came true as Robert Englund, the king of nightmares,
with that move right there,
a knee to the head,
took out Randy Savage by himself.
I think that was actually him going easy on him, because I've seen him do a heck of a lot worse to people.
Yeah, I guess he just wanted to have an easy night tonight.
I think it's out of respect of Randy Savage, too. Robert Englund is one of our fan favorites, and I think he even showed homage to the legend that is Randy Savage, but he still wanted to prove his point. As Englund is victorious, yeah. Now what?
This is gonna bring up the fires of hell.
Oh boy. Freddie raising hell here in the us versus them arena. His proteges later on will be